Welcome to Visual Books. Today, we are exploring The Defining Decade, a book that promises to unlock the secrets of your 20s, that often chaotic, exhilarating, and sometimes bewildering decade that shapes the rest of your life. Are your 20s a time of fumbling in the dark, or are they a crucial launchpad for everything that follows? Meg Jay, a psychologist, argues it's very much the latter. She's here to tell you why the choices you make, the habits you form, and the relationships you cultivate in your 20s are not just prologue, they are the main act. Prepare to rethink your entire approach to this pivotal period. Lesson 1. It's not the downtime, it's the uptime. Jay begins by dismantling the common misconception that the 20s are a sort of extended vacation from adulthood, a time to figure things out without serious consequence. She calls this the premature retirement from adulthood. Instead, she redefines this period as the uptime, a time of incredible opportunity and immense consequence. This isn't a dress rehearsal, it's opening night for your adult life. The core concept here is urgency and intentionality. Your 20s are not a pause button, they are a turbo boost. The key examples Jay uses are the stories of young adults who drift, delaying significant decisions about careers, relationships, and personal growth, often believing they have plenty of time later. They might work in jobs that are merely placeholders, date people without serious commitment, and postpone building the foundational elements of a fulfilling life. The actionable advice is stark: stop waiting for life to happen to you. Start making deliberate choices. Identify what you truly want and begin taking concrete steps towards it. Embrace the fact that this decade matters. Chapter 2. Forget your passion. This chapter challenges the prevailing wisdom of following your passion as the sole driver of career choice. Jay argues that passion is often a result, not a starting point. Trying to find a singular, earth-shattering passion at 22 can be paralyzing and unrealistic. Instead, she advocates for a more pragmatic approach to explore your interests, gain experience, and let passion develop organically. The core concept is to focus on exploration and competence building, rather than a mystical search for a preordained destiny. Jay shares examples of individuals who, by trying out various fields and developing skills, discovered passions they never knew they had. They didn't wait for passion, they cultivated it. The actionable advice is to be open to different experiences, to take on projects that stretch you even if they don't immediately ignite a fire, and to focus on developing transferable skills. Work hard, learn, and your passion will find you. Chapter 3. It's time to work on your work. This chapter delves into the critical importance of building a meaningful career in your 20s. Jay emphasizes that your first job is rarely your last, but it's a crucial stepping stone. She stresses the need to be strategic about career moves, seeking out opportunities that offer growth, learning, and networking, rather than just a paycheck. The core concept is to view your early career as an investment in your future earning potential and professional fulfillment. Jay uses examples of young professionals who actively sought mentorship, took on challenging assignments, and made calculated career transitions to position themselves for long-term success. They didn't just show up, they actively shaped their professional trajectory. The actionable advice is to think beyond the immediate job. Ask yourself, is this job teaching me valuable skills? Does it connect me with influential people? Does it move me closer to my long-term goals? Be proactive in seeking feedback and opportunities for advancement. Chapter 4. The Power of the Weak Ties. Here, Jay introduces the concept of weak ties, those acquaintances and distant connections you have, as opposed to your close friends and family. She argues that these weak ties are surprisingly powerful in opening doors to new opportunities, information, and perspectives. The core concept is to actively cultivate and leverage your broader network. Jay illustrates this with anecdotes of how job offers, business ideas, and crucial insights often come from people we don't know intimately. She highlights how relying solely on our inner circle can limit our exposure and potential. The actionable advice is to actively maintain and expand your network. Reach out to former colleagues, classmates, or even people you've met at events. Be generous with your own connections, and you'll find that your network becomes an invaluable resource. Chapter 5. Get to know your best self. This chapter focuses on the importance of self-discovery and self-awareness in your 20s. Jay argues that this decade is the perfect time to explore your values, strengths, and weaknesses, and to begin building a solid sense of identity. The core concept is that understanding yourself is fundamental to making good decisions in all areas of your life. Jay shares stories of individuals who, through introspection, journaling, or therapy, gained a deeper understanding of who they are and what they want, which then guided their choices. She stresses that this isn't about finding a perfect, unchanging self, but about developing a robust, evolving understanding. The actionable advice is to engage in regular self-reflection. Ask yourself the hard questions: what truly matters to me? What am I good at? Where do I struggle? Seek experiences that challenge you and reveal your true character. Chapter 6. Do you want to get married? Do you want to get married? This chapter tackles the complex topic of relationships and marriage in one's 20s. Jay argues against the idea of indefinitely delaying marriage and encourages intentionality in choosing a partner. She emphasizes that marriage is not a prize to be won at the end of a long search, but a partnership that requires active effort and commitment. The core concept is to be discerning and deliberate in selecting a life partner, and to understand that a successful marriage is built, not found. Jay uses examples of individuals who either rushed into marriage without proper consideration or waited so long that opportunities passed them by. She also highlights those who approach dating with a clear vision of what they wanted in a partner and a relationship. The actionable advice is to define what you're looking for in a partner and a relationship, to be honest about your own intentions, and to communicate your desires openly. Don't settle out of fear or convenience. Chapter 7. You're going to act like a kid about marriage. Building on the previous chapter, Jay explores the ways in which young adults often approach marriage with a kid-like mindset, expecting it to be a fairy tale or a solution to all their problems, rather than a partnership that requires maturity and effort. The core concept is that true partnership in marriage demands adult responsibilities and perspectives. She uses examples of couples who enter marriage with unrealistic expectations, leading to disappointment and conflict. She contrasts this with couples who understand the give and take, the compromise, and the continuous work required to build a strong marital bond. The actionable advice is to prepare for marriage as an adult. Understand that it involves shared responsibilities, conflict resolution, and ongoing communication. Don't expect your partner to fulfill all your emotional needs or to constantly entertain you. Chapter 8. It's not that you're a grown-up. It's that you're a grown-up's kid. This chapter addresses the lingering tendency for some young adults to rely on their parents or family for emotional or financial support, even as they enter their 20s. Jay calls this the grown-up's kid syndrome. The core concept is that true adulthood involves taking ownership of your life and your decisions, including financial independence and emotional maturity. She shares stories of individuals who struggled to break free from parental dependence, hindering their own growth and development. She also highlights those who actively work to establish their independence and take control of their lives. The actionable advice is to foster your independence. Seek to become financially self-sufficient, make your own decisions, and take responsibility for their outcomes. Gradually distance yourself from relying on others for validation or problem-solving. Chapter 9. The future is not an inheritance. It is an achievement. This is a powerful call to action. Jay reframes the future not as something that will passively happen to you, but as something you actively build and achieve. The core concept is that your 20s are the prime time to invest in your future self, making choices today that will benefit you for decades to come. She uses examples of individuals who made significant sacrifices or put in extraordinary effort in their 20s, which paid off handsomely later in life. She contrasts this with those who lived solely in the present, often regretting missed opportunities. The actionable advice is to think long-term. Make conscious choices about your career, your health, your relationships, and your finances that will set you up for future success and happiness. Understand that the efforts you make now, the skills you learn, the habits you form, the investments you make, are the building blocks of your future. Chapter 10. The worst mistake is to think that you still have time. This final, potent chapter serves as a powerful concluding argument. Jay reiterates the urgency and importance of the 20s, warning against complacency and the dangerous illusion that there's always more time. The core concept is that while it's true that you have time, the quality of that time is determined by the decisions you make now. Wasted 20s are incredibly difficult to recover from. She uses compelling examples of the consequences of procrastination and delay: missed career opportunities, regretted relationship choices, and a general sense of unfulfilled potential. She contrasts this with individuals who seized the day, making intentional choices that led to fulfilling lives. The actionable advice is to embrace the power of now. Make decisions, take action, and build the life you want, starting today. Recognize that your 20s are finite, and their impact is profound. In essence, the defining decade is a vital roadmap for anyone navigating their 20s. Meg Jay urges us to ditch the complacency, embrace the challenges, and make intentional, strategic choices. This decade is not a waiting room for life, it is the engine room. By understanding the profound impact of your 20s and taking proactive steps, you can build a foundation for a truly rich and rewarding future. Thank you for watching. If you found this summary helpful, please like this video, subscribe to Visual Books for more summaries, and share it with someone who would benefit.